It started like any perfect Lagos wedding morning. The skies over Lekki were bright and clear, the kind of blue that made even strangers smile. There was no sign of rain, no warning in the clouds. The streets were unusually free of traffic, and the roads leading into the exclusive Ocean Pearl Hotel were lined with luxury SUVs, convoy bikes, and photographers waiting for the wedding of the year. Inside the presidential suite of the hotel, Amoka sat before a large mirror framed with LED lights. Her skin glowed. Her makeup was flawless, soft nude tones with a touch of gold shimmer on her lids. Her natural hair had been tucked under a custom 18-inch lace frontal wig, and her diamond-studded earrings sparkled with every turn of her head. All around her, her bridesmaids giggled in matching silk robes, sipping on champagne, recording behind-the-scenes moments, and dancing to a Tiwa Savage playlist playing softly from the Bluetooth speaker. On Instagram, the hashtag #AmokaBrian2025 had started trending. By 8 a.m. makeup artists were tagging her. Vendors were showing clips of the grand reception setup, crystal chandeliers, a full wall of roses, a suspended cake. The hall could seat 500, but invitations were strictly by barcode. This wasn't just a wedding. It was an event. Everything was perfect. Until the front entrance of the hotel opened. And another bride walked in. Tola Martens didn't make a scene. She didn't come with bodyguards or noise. She walked in alone, dressed in an ivory white satin wedding gown, heels clicking sharply against the hotel's marble floor. Her makeup was just as clean, her hair laid to perfection in a sleek bun, and in her right hand, she held a small bouquet of fresh white orchids. The receptionist stood up immediately, unsure if she was seeing double. Tola didn't wait for anyone to ask questions. She simply said, "I'm here to see my fiancé, Brian is. Tell him his wife is here." The receptionist blinked. "You mean Mr. Brian is the groom for today?" "Yes," she replied calmly. "The man who promised me forever. The same man getting married in your event hall this afternoon." She turned, walked over to the plush sitting area, and crossed her legs like someone waiting for a meeting. Inside the groom's suite, Brian was pacing up and down like a man running out of time. He had barely eaten since morning. His groomsmen were taking shots and adjusting each other's suits, but Brian's nerves were fried. His phone had been buzzing all night, and he knew why. Tola. She had found out. Somehow, the secret he'd been guarding with his life for almost a year had cracked open, just hours before he was to marry the woman the public believed was his only bride, Amoka. Amoka and Brian's relationship had been a picture of perfection. They met 2 years ago at a tech networking event in Victoria Island. Amoka ran a boutique fashion brand. Brian was already making millions as a software developer turned entrepreneur. They clicked immediately. He was calm and calculated. She was vibrant and expressive. Lagos society loved them. But Tola was the woman from his past, the woman who had stuck by him when he was still climbing, when he had nothing but ideas and one laptop. Brian had met her during NYSC in Accra. They dated for years and even had a quiet introduction in Tola's family house when he promised to marry her. But Brian's fame came like a flood, and with it came expectations. Public image. Family pressure. The kind of woman he was expected to be seen with. So he sidelined Tola. Promised her the white wedding would happen soon. Fed her hope. Kept her tucked away like a secret. Until the wedding invites for #AmokaBrian2025 went public, and someone who knew them both tagged her in a post. Back in the hotel lobby, Kola, Brian's best man, rushed down to intercept the situation before it exploded. He approached Tola carefully. "Tola, what are you doing here?" She looked up at him with a calmness that was terrifying. "Good morning, Kola. Is this not the same hotel where Brian's wedding is happening? Or did they change the venue?" He sighed, rubbing his forehead. "You know you can't be here." "I know I can. I have every right." Kola looked around. Guests were arriving. Makeup artists were moving in and out of suites. Vendors were wheeling carts filled with decorations. One wrong move and everything would scatter. "Tola, let's talk outside, please. We can't do this here." She stood up, still calm. tell Brian I'm here. I'm not leaving. Inside Amoka's suite, laughter filled the air as her maid of honor helped her into her ball dress. It was imported, pure white silk, hand-beaded with crystals along the bodice. The veil was cathedral length, dramatic and grand. She looked at herself in the mirror. Everything was perfect. Except for a strange tug in her chest. Amoka had noticed Brian's distance in the past few days. He hadn't been as responsive. His voice had felt off on the phone. But she told herself it was just nerves. Every groom felt it. Didn't they? Her mother had even prayed for her that morning, Amoka, you are walking into joy. No weapon fashioned against you shall prosper. She smiled through it. But her spirit felt unsettled. By noon, chaos was building behind the scenes. Kola returned to Brian's suite, sweating and panicked. She's here. Tola. She came in a wedding gown. She's sitting in the hotel lobby like a queen waiting to be crowned. Brian sank into the couch, speechless. What do I do, Kola? What do I do? You should have told Amoka from the beginning. You should have picked a side. I did. I chose Amoka. You didn't choose, Brian. You strung them both along. And now they are both about to find out in public. A sharp knock cut through the tension. It was the hotel manager. Sir, we're trying to manage the scene, but the woman in the lobby is telling guests she's your real bride. Security needs instruction. Brian stood up. No. No security. Don't touch her. Just give me time. Time was the one thing he no longer had. At 12:45 p.m., just 15 minutes before the wedding was set to begin, Tola rose from the lobby chair and started walking. People stared. Phones came out. She didn't flinch. She walked past the floral arch, past the photo booth, and into the hallway leading to the reception hall. Inside the bridal suite, Amoka's makeup artist was placing the final rhinestones on her veil when her junior sister rushed in, phone in hand, face pale. Amoka, there's another bride downstairs. What? A woman. In a white dress. She says she's Brian's wife. And just like that, the perfect day became a headline. For a moment, there was silence in the bridal suite. Thick, heavy silence. Amoka stared at her younger sister like she had lost her mind. What do you mean another bride? I mean there's a woman downstairs, the girl stammered, clutching her phone. She's wearing a wedding dress and she's saying Brian is her husband. Look, people are already uploading it on TikTok. It's everywhere, #2brides1groom. Amoka's chest tightened. Her makeup artist dropped her brush. One of the bridesmaids stopped mid-lip gloss application. The other looked at Amoka, unsure whether to speak or run. Then Amoka stood up. Her heart was racing, but her voice came out calm. Show me. Her sister turned her phone screen toward her. There, on a shaky but clear video, was a woman in a satin wedding dress walking through the hotel lobby like she owned the ground. People gasped as she passed. 2 security men followed behind her, confused. The caption on the video read, "This Lagos groom has 2 wives. Wedding Wala at Lekki Hotel today." Amoka blinked. She recognized the woman. It was Tola. The woman she had seen once, just once, on Brian's WhatsApp profile picture over a year ago. He had told her then, "Oh, that's my cousin from NYSC. She's married now." He lied. Across the hallway, Brian was on the floor, hands on his head. His world was collapsing in real time. "Get up." Kola backed at him. "This is no time to sit down and die. You need to fix this now, or your life is over." Brian shut up. "Fix what?" "She came to ruin my wedding." "No. She came to take what she was promised. You played both sides. Tola was with you when you were broke. You proposed to her. You made her believe she was the one." Brian's voice cracked. "I thought I had time. I was going to handle it. You thought she'd stay hidden forever." He didn't answer. He couldn't. Kola grabbed his coat. You have less than 10 minutes before the MC calls you out. Either you come clean to Amoka now, or let the whole of Lagos hear it from social media. Brian looked at himself in the mirror. The perfect groom. Expensive tuxedo. Polished shoes. Diamond cufflinks. But inside, he was empty. He picked up his phone and called Amoka. Amoka's phone buzzed once. She saw the name, stared at it. Then picked up. You lied to me, she said, her voice low. Brian didn't answer immediately. I never meant to hurt you, he finally said. I was going to tell you. I swear. Tola wasn't supposed to. You're telling me now? On our wedding day. Please, let me explain. Let's talk face to face. You have one chance, Brian, she said. Meet me in the courtyard. Come alone. She ended the call. Amoka turned to her sister. Help me out of this dress. Now. Outside, the courtyard behind the hotel was quiet. Palm trees lined the white tiled floors, and a small fountain bubbled in the center. It was designed for pre-wedding photos and bridal portraits. No drama. Amoka arrived first, wrapped in a robe, her veil removed. She paced slowly, her heels clicking like time counting down. Then Brian appeared. No groomsmen. No drama. Just him. His eyes were red. Amoka didn't waste time. Tell me everything. Brian swallowed. I met Tola during NYSC. We dated for years. She was there when I had nothing. I proposed to her, we even did introduction. So what am I? You're the woman I chose. Don't insult me, she said, sharply. He paused. I loved her, Amoka. I really did. But when I met you, something changed. You matched where I was going. My business was growing. I needed someone who fit the image, who would make sense in society. She stared at him like he was speaking a different language. So I'm a prop. It wasn't like that. I love you. And Tola. He looked away. I was going to end it, I swear. But every time I tried, she would cry. She said she waited. That she sacrificed. That I owed her. And do you? Yes. Amoka's eyes filled with tears. You lied to me for 2 years. Planned a wedding with me while promising another woman forever. I didn't know it would get this far, he whispered. I lost control. No, Brian. You never had control. You just had the ability to lie to 2 women at once. At that moment, the door behind them opened, and Tola walked in. She had changed into a less dramatic dress but was still very much the woman in white. Amoka, she said. I didn't come here to disgrace you. Then why did you come? To stop a lie from becoming a lifetime sentence. I love Brian. But I'm not a fool. I begged him for years to make good on his promise. I waited patiently. But when I saw your wedding post, I knew the truth. Amoka's eyes narrowed. So you decided to destroy my wedding instead? No. I decided to take back my voice. I was never invited to this party, but I was always part of the story. You deserve the truth. I deserved it too. Silence stretched between them. Then Amoka looked at Brian one last time. You said you wanted to be a man? You had 2 queens and you tried to play God. She removed her engagement ring. Now face the crown you deserve. She placed the ring in his hand and walked away. At 1:20 p.m., the MC was on stage, waiting to call out the groom. The hall was packed. Cameras were live. Guests were whispering, wondering what was going on. Then Kola appeared on stage. He cleared his throat. Ladies and gentlemen, today's ceremony has been postponed. Gasps filled the room. Phones came out. What do you mean postponed? Where's the bride? Which bride? Someone shouted from the back. And just like that, the wedding of the year became the scandal of the season. The news spread through Lagos faster than fuel price hikes. Everyone had seen the footage by evening: 2 brides, 1 groom, 1 wedding that never happened. Online forums couldn't keep up. Twitter was melting. YouTube Reels had already titled it, "The Lekki Love Scam, 2 Brides, 1 Heartbreak." It wasn't just trending. It was burning. But away from the chaos, 2 women sat on opposite ends of a story that had only just begun. Tola sat on the hood of her brother's car, still in her wedding dress, now slightly torn at the hem. She was barefoot, drained, and strangely calm. Her brother, Demola, paced in front of her, livid. "You're lucky I didn't lay my hands on that boy. You're lucky I didn't storm the altar and drag him in front of TV cameras." Tola let out a bitter laugh. "He was never going to choose me. I was his past. I just refused to see it." Demola turned sharply. "You should sue him. Do you know the embarrassment? The cost of this dress? The mental trauma? Even the Uber ride you took to storm the wedding?" Tola smiled faintly. "No. I'm not suing him. But I'm not disappearing either." "What does that mean?" "It means I'm not going to fold. I won't be a footnote in Brian's story." She pulled out her phone. Her screen glowed with messages: bloggers requesting interviews, vloggers wanting exclusives, feminist podcasts begging for her side. She looked at Demola. "I'm going to tell my story. On my terms." Amoka stood in her walk-in closet. Her wedding gown hung like a ghost behind her. She had showered twice. Once to wash off the sweat. The second time to wash off the shame. Her mother was in the living room, praying. Her father, furious and embarrassed, had gone completely silent. And the aunties, oh, the aunties had already started. "Maybe you were too proud. Maybe he felt pressured. Maybe if you were more submissive." She sat in front of her vanity mirror and stared at herself. Not a tear left. Not a trace of the bride she'd tried to be. A knock came on the door. It was her cousin, Ifeoma, holding her phone. "You need to see this." Tola's face filled the screen, calm and composed. "I'm not here to insult Brian. I'm here because I deserve to speak. For 5 years, I was in love with a man who promised me forever." The comment section was going wild. "She's so strong. This is why we need sisterhood. That man's career is over." And then one comment caught Amoka's eye. "I wonder what the other bride has to say." Tola sat in a cafe in Lekki when her inbox buzzed. From Amoka O. Subject: "Let's talk." Message: "We both wore the dress. Let's finish this in heels." The screen fades in. 2 women. Both in white. One in a blazer dress. The other in a flowing maxi. Sitting side by side. The internet had never seen anything like it. Tola spoke first. "We were played by the same man. We both lost time, peace, and public dignity." Amoka added, "But we're not enemies. Just women who chose to fight back instead of fading quietly." They told their stories, fully, honestly. No tears, no begging. Just truth and poise. They ended the video together. "To all the brides who were left standing alone, or betrayed in silence, this one's for you." The screen faded to black. But their story had only just begun. 3 months later. Brian lost his job. His law firm didn't want the baggage. His face was a meme. His name was a cautionary tale.